Hola Colchoneros, welcome to Atleti Fanatics, and we are back with a classic 1-0 victory at Coliseum in Getafe. Against Getafe, sorry. It was in Madrid, not in Getafe. But again, what a game Saint Geeks. I mean, I don't even remember like when any of the team had like a good momentum for like 5-10 minutes. The game was getting disturbed after like every few minutes. Atleti tried to
So,
like build some momentum, and again, Getafe players going down, killing the momentum. And same the other way, Getafe when they started to attack us, and then we dismantled their momentum. But like you said, what a terrible game! What a terrible game! Like I remember one single move which was actually good for the entire 90th minute. I just saw like one good touch from Griezmann, where
mhm.
that was a very good touch to Pablo Barrios, and Pablo Barrios should have taken a shot.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I don't know what he was thinking. He was thinking maybe to get a cigarette or a beer over there, just stand there and smoke and chill. Because just take the shot. Like, what are you doing with the ball? But seriously, I think like this is one of those games which we got lucky, to be honest.
I 100% agree. I think this is I I don't want to hop on this point too long because I feel like I don't want to repeat myself, but it's like this the way that we set up for today. I looked at the lineup and it's like if there was a lineup to lose this game, this was it. Like it's like the only thing that could have been worse was probably put starting Solar, and I
No,
can't
no,
tell you.
no, no, no. I don't agree on that one. I think Solo should have started. I think
I
Solo
think
should have started. That goal would never come if Solo wasn't there. You see two players marking Solo, leaving Raspadori alone. That's how we got that goal.
sure,
I'm telling you again,
sure,
Solo should have
but
started.
I like I want to just say it's like that game was some truly awful. I think easily the worst game that we played this season.
And won.
I mean, we won it, and I knowing that the Arsenal game happened, like we lost four in that game, and I still feel like this was truly our worst game. What do you call it? It we didn't really create until the second. We created one or two chances, maybe had
We,
something.
we created a very good chance in the first 5 minutes with Nico Gonzalez, and then again, that should
Right.
be a goal.
That
That
should
should
have
have
been a
been a
goal.
goal.
I think Nico. Oh, speaking of, I think Nico had a really good game until he
He
got that
did.
that head injury, which he looked visibly concussed, and I don't know why he stayed on the pitch.
I
But
mean, like we already lost Marcus Llorente with the injury, which I was very confused because
I didn't get to the twist. Yeah.
yeah, like I was like, wait, hang on, is it Alvarez? Is it who is it? Is it Baena? Is it because Llorente was running?
Mm-hmm.
He was asking for the ball and like he ran, and then suddenly yeah, it was Llorente when I saw him doing the this gesture, and then yeah, I don't know what happened. I hope it's very very minor because again, the right hand side was dead after Llorente went off. And again, that right hand side, the chances we created were coming from that right hand side with Giuliano and Lorente both combining together. And the last time I saw like a right hand side so good was the Trippier Lorente one when we won La
Mm,
Liga.
I agree.
And ever since that, like right hand side hasn't been that good. But again, it's getting back to that level, the right hand side. So again, we need those two players on that side. It's a very very vital for us. We can see that in this match as well. But like you said, and for again, I want to say one more thing. I think Molina's time at Atletico de Madrid is done. But I
I
know he will play for sure. But
I
we know.
before we get into like proper half analysis and these other things, I have to say I'm truly shocked. Molina got a full 90 in that game because Llorente
I
coming
mean,
off was like, okay, all right, we'll see Pubil in the second half, right? Stay the full 90, constant defensive liability, not particularly good in build up, not particularly good even when he was in good attacking options. I don't remember any second half where he had a chance to shoot, left it for Griezmann for reasons I don't know because it was a great time to just volley it, and Griezmann couldn't get the hold of it properly. I was like, use your right foot. This is your whole thing is ball striking. Your whole thing that you made your name for in Udinese was ball striking and doing it really well. You get a free chance to shoot and you leave it. I get it's Griezmann, but still, this is, you know what I mean. So it's like all
I
of these
mean, I
good
don't know.
parts.
Maybe he was trying to like do like this, like with the hip,
Mm.
something. He had that movement. Maybe he was trying to score with his hip. I don't know.
But all of the good parts about Molina that we saw in 2022 season, 22 season, 22 to 23, the good parts that we saw last season where he was a solid backup, but not particularly great uh, all the time. We don't see that at all. This has just been what's
The
August,
level is
September,
coming down.
October,
I agree.
November. Straight bad, like four months of
I,
just bad football.
I
No
agree with
injuries.
you. I agree with you. I think the level is coming down. Now Molina is the level he's playing at like is getting down.
Hmm.
And like I'm serious, like I don't see him at Atleti, like next season for sure. I don't see him. But again, it's Atleti de Madrid.
Hmm.
We do make something, very very stupid decision in the transfer market sometimes, especially the long one.
Mm.
But it is what it is. But anyway, before we keep pointing at each player, again I would say Molina, I would say, wasn't really that bad though. Like like maybe I'm being too harsh on him, but I think he didn't have a good game as well. But again, we're not looking for mediocre players. We need a good world class right back.
I think I 100% agree with you. So with that mind, let's talk about. I think there's not much to talk about in either half, but let's talk about the first half.
I mean, you can talk about like how Iglesias was going down on the pitch every now and then. You can talk
Iglesias had
about
three in the first 10, 15 minutes. Tried to get three penalty calls. And not once did the referee say, you know what, you should get a yellow card for constantly asking for these bad penalty calls. Nothing. Nonsense.
I mean, that's the classic Getafe game. Like it's Getafe is Bordalas, obviously. Like you'll get this
I I
tactics.
I don't mind that. I don't mind it, but it's just like sometimes it does get under my skin. It
You
really
don't
does.
mind it. You don't mind it when you're winning.
No, I
Like
minded it.
if
If I even when I was winning, it was upsetting. Luis Mia was great for the Getafe, is what I should say, and that's about it. I didn't really notice anything special from Getafe in the first half, to be honest with you.
David Soria became David De Gea
Right.
from
Okay. Right.
Man United, and again, like normally does, like keeper. I don't know what happens to keepers against us. They always turn up. David Soria again, that Nico Gonzalez save, the Raspadori save for me was one of the difficult
I
one out of
can't.
these.
It's such a hard save. I what do you call it? Some one of my mutuals sent something on Twitter, right? And this is like the top 10 keeper performances so far this season, and three out of the top 10 are against Atletico. I was like, that's insane.
That's not
That's
insane. That's not
insane.
insane. I'm not surprised because again, like I said, David Soria became David De Gea from the prime Man United team. The
Mm,
shot stopping from him. The Nico Gonzalez one. I mean, like you might, argue like Nico Gonzalez maybe should
maybe
have
could.
headed
Yeah.
here and there, but that was an amazing save from David Soria. Let's say if it
Mm-hmm.
was Oblak instead of David Soria, everyone would say Oblak made a
Oh,
world class save.
yeah.
Exactly. And then, like when it's Nico Gonzalez, you'll say, like, oh, he should have scored. I mean, where I think he should have scored for sure. But then
Mm-hmm.
again, you should give credit to David Soria as well.
Yeah, yeah,
But again, like, I don't know why these keepers turn up against us for some reason. Like what do you eat before the game when you see Atletico de Madrid match? Like, seriously. Like yesterday I saw Unai Simon making stupid mistakes against Barcelona, conceding straight like Ferran Torres literally shot
yeah.
like
And you know he's gonna perform well
straight at
now.
him. Like, obviously against us he will perform well. Against Barcelona, Ferran Torres shot straight at him. What happens? It's a goal. I don't know how he concede. Lewandowski near post, he concede that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like such a bad game from Unai Simon and against Barcelona, and this keeps happening. When it'll come up against us, he'll be like, "Oh shit, like this time I should get back to like those my prime Spain days." Because I seriously don't get this. Like, why do these keepers have to make it difficult for us? Let us score, man. Like Nico Gonzalez, come on. Raspadori won. I thought that was a goal.
I, I I felt it as soon as it left his foot. I was like, "That's such a good shot. It's such a like that." It was those games where like you mentioned it. It's like in the Napoli games. It's just like a random Raspadori in space. He's gonna shoot it and it's probably gonna score. And sorry, it's just like not today. Great
I
save,
mean,
amazing save.
exactly, exactly. Well deserved man of the match, by the way. I think
Yeah,
he was the
yeah,
only one who was keeping Atleti at the bay. Anyway, the lineup. Your thoughts on the lineup?
terrible. I don't know why Longley played because Hanko Hanko being on the bench didn't make sense to me. Hanko came onto the pitch in the second half and was really good, but it's like Longley didn't offer anything um, that we don't already have, and not only did he not offer that, he also gave a little bit of defensive instability. There were a few moments, not really in the first half too much, but there were a few moments where I was just like, "That's a little shaky. That's not necessary. That you what you're doing there." And having that alongside Molina is a compounding error that I don't really want to see in the backline again. But I will probably will see for the rest of the season because Lonamond and Llorente being out means that I'm gonna have to see a lot more of players I don't particularly want to see. But um, not too much to talk about in terms of the lineup. Besides that, Nico was a little surprise inclusion again because I was like, well, Nico played with the Argentina team. I thought he would have taken some time to rest because wait, no, did he? He did, yeah. Him and Almada did play. So I was like, I thought he would have taken some rest because Almada was the one who came off early. So I thought maybe Almada would start, especially in a game where we need a little bit more control because they have a very physical team. You want to play really well. But Nico had a really good game again until he got that head injury where he probably should have been taken off immediately. Llorente had a good game until he was off the pitch with an injury. Uh, I feel like I could say this a few times. Like Alvarez, not a great game from Alvarez.
I can't really blame Alvarez, to be honest, because I think again, like I said, this game was perfectly suited for a player like Sorloth, that profile. Because again, you need some, like how Getafe started the match. They were
Mm-hmm.
very physical, they were very tough, and they started pressing us. And then again, the first few minutes, Getafe almost created a chance out of nothing. And whenever Alvarez used to get the ball, he used to be getting pushed by two players on the pitch, and it's very
Mm-hmm.
difficult for someone like Alvarez to hold off those two players. With Sorloth, it's still, it's still manageable. Like we saw, like when Sorloth came on, he had a good link up play with Griezmann or Baina or Paulo Barrios. He was linking up well. And again, like the goal, which again we'll talk about in the second half. But I think for Julian Alvarez, it would have been better if someone like Sorloth was playing up front.
I could see
And
that argument in retrospect. I feel like I would just get upset. I don't know what to tell. I've seen Solat start and do nothing so often. So his substitute performance, which was admittedly pretty decent, but still a bit lacking because I think we did put in the ball a few times for him and he just was not moving. And I was just like, all right, bro, I get it. You don't want to be in.
true, true. Like there was lack of movement. I think lack of not just him. I think like
Yeah,
for
lack of
most of the
movement.
players in the like the final third, I think there was very lack of movement. And I remember like with Julian Alvarez, like you mentioned, like in the first half itself, when Llorente came off, so it was Baena, it was Griezmann, it was Julian Alvarez. There was no one up front.
Because we,
All these three players were like getting back to get the ball, and there was no one up front. So hence there's lack of movement. And for example, if Baena is getting the ball on the left flank or Nick Gonzalez getting the ball on the right flank, there is no movement because all those three players are like in the middle. So
mm-hmm.
where would you even go? So I think in that matter, like either Simeone had to instruct either Griezmann or Julian Alvarez to like stay up front, don't drop back that much, and which actually happened in the second half. Griezmann stayed up front. He didn't like came back that much, and it frustrated me because he was literally offside like most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, my lineup, I would say Solo should have started with Julian Alvarez up front, and it should have been Nico Gonzalez and Lorente on the right hand side, and with here in the left, Baina, Paulo Barrios, Koke, and then Jimenez, Hansko, Ruggeri, and obviously that right back situation is filled with Lorente. Now, if Lorente goes off, then you can bring on Molina, and then but again, I wanted Nico Gonzalez on the right hand side.
I think he
But
was a lot
again,
more effective on the left in the first half. to be fair. But I get what you mean. I think that was the right. I think I agree with your assessment for the most part.
Yeah,
I'm
but
I'm
anyway, I was
beside
surprised to see
I'm
Molina as well. By the way, because again, we know, like like that's one. So like we have four substitutions. One is Molina for sure. So
yes.
in that
I,
match,
I
like,
I
wasn't surprised.
I wasn't surprised Molina was there. I was surprised that Molina got the 90. You know what I mean? Like Pubil was heavily experimented with throughout the international break. Pubil was playing both centre back and right back throughout the international break. So I thought we would see him, especially because of Llorente injury, having Molina off and then having to get more like Pubil offers build up. Pubil offers defensive solidity that Molina can't. Pubil offers a lot more in that area, especially in terms of the set pieces where I think Getafe was very wasteful because we are really bad at set pieces. They got that one chance at the very end of the game, but
I mean, Luis Miller didn't have a good day in set pieces.
I don't think so either. But when I was looking at it, I was just thinking to myself, man, this would be really good if Pubil was here, somebody who's like 6'2", not 6'2", he's like 6'3", 6'4", who could just just sort out these things here. But it I digress. I think there's not too much to talk about that I haven't already talked about in the first half, so I can't really say too much more. Like I just that's all. To be honest, for me.
True. I mean, first half, I would say I couldn't see anything positive other than Nico Gonzalez.
Hmm.
First half, Nico Gonzalez was pretty good. I think he maybe could have gone down as well for a penalty shout in the box where he ran solo and he made a very good touch to get inside the box, and then it was Getafe's player who left out a leg, and he could have made the most of it. Like Real Madrid players do, Mbappe, anything. You leave
Mm,
out a leg, you go down. And Nico Gonzalez actually kept on running, which I think like maybe if he like makes a slight contact or anything, that could have been a very good shot for a penalty. But anyway, he doesn't decide to do so, and like we went on. By the way, Cookie played his 700th game for Atletico de Madrid,
hmm.
which is very huge. But again, I think like Cookie didn't really have that much of a good game as well. He slipped the first half. I thought like they're gonna score or something.
Yeah, it was a very shocking. But a lot of players slipped on the day. Actually, a lot of LSE players slipped throughout
True.
the game.
I don't know. I don't know why like they put so much water on the pitch.
You know why they put so much water on the pitch, though, to
Like
undermine
Getafe
the
players.
possession players.
Exactly, Getafe players were slipping. Our players were slipping, and like like what the fuck is going on? But anyway, the first half I think like it was more frustrating as well because whenever I like saw Pablo Barres getting the ball on the flank, Nico Gonzalez getting the ball, or Julian Alvarez getting the ball up front, there's only 2 3 players attacking, and there are like 7 8 Getafe players over there. Like, what are you gonna do with it? Nothing. There's no space. You just don't have enough numbers up front to create anything. And
Hmm.
maybe that was like one of the reasons why Julian Alvarez didn't play a good game today.
Yeah.
But he was getting out muscled as well on that pitch today. But it's good. I hope there's no major injury and like we need him against Inter Milan as well, which is again this midweek.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said, the first half it wasn't really that good. But anyway, the second half,
Also not
the
that
second half also not that good. The second half was more like who can go down, like
good.
who can waste time. Let's have that competition. Who can waste more time on the pitch? And seriously, I can't remember anything. I think Getafe started strong in the second half. They had that momentum, and then when Atleti started to have some momentum,
Yeah. Hmm.
and they were going down, wasting time and everything. And this is where that situation came. I actually saw a 4-2-3-1 today at Atletico de Madrid. Did you see that?
I saw it after Griezmann came on, and then I think it was
No, no, not
more
Griezmann. It was Sorloth when Sorloth and Gallagher came on.
right. So I was saying, like, what happened? The
Sorry,
original
Raspadori.
there was a brief moment of the 4-2-3-1 in the first half with um, Nico playing left wing. There was Griezmann right, uh, Alvarez as the one, and then Bayana coming in to drop right. But at some point, they kind of it switched from the 4-2-3-1 to almost like a 4-2, like yeah, like a 4-4-2-4, 4-2, like sorry, so 4-2-4, where you had Koke and Barrios at the back, and then you had all of them in the same line. Right? But it was a very brief moment in that time, and then when the subs came on, you had Solot. I can't remember, was Raspadori behind or was he in the left? He was in the left.
Raspadori was playing on the right hand side. Griezmann was playing in the middle, and then there was Baena on the. Baena was playing with Barrios in the middle,
I
and
apologize
then
because
Nico Gonzalez was playing.
I want to scrub that game out of my mind. That wasn't a good game. It was
That
just-
was that was a classic. It was Barrios and Baena with the foot after the defenders, the midfield people with Barrios and Baena, and then the three up front was
Ooh,
Griezmann, Raspadori, and what
I have a
happened?
question. I have
Oh,
a
you have a
question.
question?
How
Okay,
do you
I thought
feel?
I thought
How do you
LJ
feel
scored or
about?
something.
No. How do you feel about Cardoso not playing in a game where I think a very physical game where Cardoso is almost guaranteed to make your team better?
I would say these things are good when you have time. These are the things where you should do in preseason.
Hmm.
Now you don't have that much time, and again, you can do these things against, for example, the likes of Real Oviedo. We're gonna play against them soon, so you can try with that formation. But we know Simeone. Simeone is a stubborn guy. He won't change that classic 4-4-2, which is actually working pretty well.
Hmm.
And but I mean, we can see something new as well. You never know with Simeone, but I think like he's a very stubborn guy. This guy is he's very stubborn. But
I Yeah. The second half was just like I think until these subs were made, I didn't really care to watch what Atletico was doing.
do
I was
you do you
watching.
remember Getafe almost scored when Sorlo just came on? He had a very stupid clearance where he
Yep,
couldn't hit the ball,
headed it
and
right back into the players, and
exactly
I was like,
Nico
nice, we're
Gonzalez,
getting
yeah,
punished for putting Solas on the pitch.
exactly. Nico Gonzalez saved us. Nico
Yeah.
Gonzalez saved us with that block. That was
Again,
when.
Nico had a really good game until he very visibly got a head injury. Um, so I think he just couldn't get to play the full 90 because of it. So it's kind of funny. I didn't really want Nico to start, but I think he just ended up being a very good player for today. Um,
He did play good. I think he did play good. And again, you mentioning Julian Alvarez didn't have a good game. I remember one moment where Julian Alvarez played a perfect ball to Griezmann, where he could
mhm.
have taken a touch, go forward, and maybe try to take a good shot. So it was a very good chance created by Julian Alvarez. W- What did Griezmann do? He's like he's trying to volley it from there only.
Yeah, it wasn't. Not on your weak foot, man. That wasn't the time. That wasn't the place. So, I mean, I lack the words to talk about what happened today. But more than that,
Yes,
I think I got very upset when I saw Koke and what do you call it, Alvarez coming off in for Solot and Raspadori, because in my eyes,
I think I would say like Simeone got the substitutions right in this match. I would say.
I don't know if he did or didn't. I think he just kind of got lucky regardless. I think we
Mm.
had many
I
moments,
mean,
both
like if
before
you
and after the subs, that Getafe could have scored on us today. This could have been a 1-1. This could have been a 2-1. I wouldn't
sure,
have
sure,
been shocked.
but I think like the substitutions like they
It worked
did
out.
had some impact. Like Raspadori had an impact. Sorloth had an impact. Who else? David Hansko has an impact. David Hansko had an impact. Griezmann, I would say it was okay, okay.
But again, Griezmann
Gallagher
wasn't really supposed
Gallagher
to
had
come
a
on
good
that early.
game. Come
I say,
again?
I saying Griezmann wasn't really supposed to come on that early. That was a forced substitution.
True, true, and maybe that's why we didn't see Marco Beal or any other substitution because again we're back to four. I'm telling you, we have four substitutions. Either way, we have four substitutions. But anyway, the entire match was about getting that final pass. We just couldn't penetrate Getafe from the middle, and again the final third, we were lacking that indecisiveness in the final third. Just one good move from Gallagher to Baina, and what a good ball from Baina with the outside of his foot.
Hmm.
Again, two players marking Sorloth. Raspadori all alone. Again, what you should usually do: play the ball back in, which he does, and lucky goal. The good finish, by the way, from Domingos. By the way, from the from the heel goal, a perfect heel goal.
It's such a dangerous ball that you, as a defender, you can't really just allow it to happen. Because if you saw, Griezmann was in front of him, yes, but he had barriers making a following up run. So he's just like, I have to do something. He just makes a mistake of it, which is unfortunate for him. Great for us, but that's what happens.
True,
You put in a dangerous
true,
ball, something happens.
true. My guy was like lying on the net for the 5 minutes.
Yeah, because he
Yeah,
knew he ruined the game. Because Getafe were, I think, up until that point, comfortably a better team than us.
true. Funny thing, like just before that goal, Jene was acting like injured, and Simeone was like, like if he's injured, like get him off the pitch because like he's wasting too much time, and like he got a yellow card for this, and then it kind of like referee actually told him like you need to get off the pitch, and Getafe were with 10 men, and that's when he scored. So yeah, you can't play haram ball with us. We invented this thing, but but anyway. Again, the second half, I would say Raspadori had a good shot, which David Soria saved again. Again, he became David De Gea.
Hmm.
Other than that, Alex Baena had a chance where he took a shot as well, which I think maybe he could have played it to Sorloth, but nothing happened. And then the last 5 minutes, god damn, like I've never been so nervous. Those set pieces after set pieces we have to defend, and corners after corners, and which like we know how Atleti is at corners, but still I was lucky enough. And then eventually the last minute scare of Longley handball.
I think that was a handball, by the way. I think that actually, I think the only reason we got away with that is because I think he took a chance. The chance that he took on the goal, they were like, well, they had a shot on goal, so I don't think he allowed a penalty after that.
No, it doesn't. No, no, no. He can still
It
call
looked
it back,
almost.
but it looked,
It
but
looked
it
real
wasn't.
close.
It wasn't. And I think like you can't call a penalty for that because again, like Longley's hands were like this, like with his body,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh, I forgot about that. Why did I not forget?
but yeah, maybe hit his stomach or something. But like his hands were very close to the body, so that was never a penalty. But that was a good scare though, and a good effort from I think it was Arambari.
Hmm.
And one thing I'll tell about Juan Musso, I think maybe this is a controversial opinion, but Juan Musso, if he played Juan Musso against Arsenal, maybe with those set pieces, maybe he would have done something because this guy comes out and claims those crosses.
Right. I feel like that as a slight. I had this in the back of my head, but I never really properly like dwelled on it because Juan Musso is taller than Oblak by about 2 inches or so, but he has much longer limbs as well. So a lot of times, I think we saw it in the Copa del Rey last season. He's usually, not always, usually better against corners because he has the ability to go out and just grab the ball in the air.
Grab or punch the ball. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe
I
against
say that,
Arsenal, that would
but
have
at
been
the same time, we conceded two goal corners against Barcelona last season. That I think,
that was Juan Musso in goal. Correct.
yeah. So it's a. I think Oblak had a good enough game against Arsenal that I can't really justify it. I think it was just the team let him down. So,
No, I'm not saying like like I'm not
but
really pointing out on
yeah.
Oblak. Oblak obviously is a legend, world class keeper. Like I'll always for me Oblak is like all time
Hmm.
goalkeeper in La Liga with like he has the most Zamora trophy and
I,
everything. I
I I
have
I quite like Musso. I think he's the first time we've ever had a real second keeper who's good enough that if something happens to Oblak, I'm not too worried. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but like yeah, the thing I'm saying is like like for set pieces, for defending set pieces and corners, like Juan Musso actually comes out and
Mhm.
like so you see lesser threat over there. But again, this doesn't mean that like I'm hating on Oblak or something. I'm just saying like that's like one of his good abilities of Juan Musso, which we can actually use in some matches, like for example against Arsenal. But doesn't really like matter. Like you let Arsenal score 2 goals from let's say that Martinelli one, and then it was I forgotten. Martinelli, two was from the corner. Uh,
Martinelli's goal was from Marcelo Skelly running through the
yeah,
entire
yeah,
pitch
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
Gallagher just lost his mind.
And then it was from a free kick. Then one was from a corner.
Hmm.
I'm forgetting one.
I think another one was from a set piece. I think Gabriel had hit it back into Gyökeres. I can't remember. I don't like looking back at that game. But
Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
so
But yeah. Anyway, let's go just to the ratings now. Let's just do it quickly. Yeah. No. Oh, sorry. Juan Musso.
I think he had a good game, but he didn't really have to. Ironically, despite my complaints, he didn't have too much to do. What he did do well. So it's like maybe a 6.5. I think that's a
I
fair thing.
agree. I agree. I agree. The defense: Molina, Jimenez,
They are going to be very
Longley,
different ratings.
Ruggeri.
I think Jimenez had an immense game. I think when we were losing control in the first half, Jimenez came up and you saw him multiple times almost playing as a DM to help out the midfield. You saw him making runs forward to help out with crosses when they were happening, running back. I think he had a really, really good game, and I think he did a lot to stop Getafe from really doing some real damage against us. I think his yellow card was very unwarranted as well. But I think to me, that was like a 7.5, maybe a 8.
About the yellow cards, I would say, I don't know. All yellow cards were usually like I didn't see them coming. Even the Getafe players, I remember like he just made a foul. It was a yellow card.
It is not even like you could say it's a repeating, and you get a yellow card from just being constant small fouls, right? It's like Jimenez made two, maybe three fouls, none of them dangerous, none of them crazy, none of them anything. And then when he got a yellow card, I was like, what? For what? Like that's not even a foul. I was like, but I don't want to talk about Spanish arbitration.
Anyway, yes.
Um,
Anyway. Yeah,
Molina,
so Jimenez.
I did not like Molina. I think Molina was very bad in the build up. I think he caused didn't do too much wrong, but he didn't do too much right either. And I think there were a lot of moments when the ball for Getafe was on the left on their left hand side, all right, where Molina was either way too easily getting bypassed or just didn't offer enough to stop any crosses. So I think I have to give him a 6, maybe a 5. Not a great game for him, and I'd probably do the same for Longley. Longley was good, it was mostly muted, but anytime that he was called into attention, there was a shakiness that I didn't really see from any of the other centre backs up until that game, and he hasn't played since the red card, mind you. So good reason that we were. I think it's clear we don't need to see him again. Ruggieri had a good game, not great. I think there was one. I think you remember the cross that he made to Griezmann that was terrible. Like, but Griezmann somehow managed to make something out of it. Um, for the most part,
No,
good. For
there's
the
one
most,
thing about Ruggieri I wanna say. There's something about Ruggieri. Like I don't know why. Like like his ability to stop the crosses is not good.
stop. Oh, it stopped
Like
him from coming into it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know why. Like he's like never able to do it. Like I don't
He's
see a block.
normally he blocks it, but I think today he wasn't particularly good at that. But
Not just
anytime he
today.
was,
Not just today. It's pretty often.
he was good against. Anyway, I think he was today. He was good in mostly defensively. I think a lot of the one-on-ones that he had, he was very successful at. He was decent build up. Okay delivery, nothing too great, nothing too crazy. I think I'll give him a 6.5.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like like you have to increase your level. Like if again, it's a very controversial opinion. I don't
I
see
think
Rogeri, an upgrade on Javi
besides,
Galan.
I do. I think Galan is a weakness in this game today. I think you don't win the one on
I
one.
don't see I don't see a massive upgrade on Javi Galan. Not at all. I don't see. It's
I
you
don't.
can say like
That's me.
you can call it
But
6-7 kind of a thing over here. But yeah, I don't see a
oh
massive
wow,
difference.
okay. But I think I I I feel like you're being a bit harsh on Rogeri because I feel like besides maybe Barrios and maybe Baena, I don't think anybody from restart. Oh, and Nico. Nobody really played a particularly good game today. I
No, I'm
think
just not like saying about today. Like generally, I'm saying like I don't really
I like
see
Ruggieri.
Ruggieri performing. Yeah, I mean like that's totally fine. Like
Mm.
nothing against it. Like I'm just saying that like we haven't seen the best of Ruggieri. That's all.
That's good. I think that means that we can. what we're seeing now is the floor, and hopefully we'll get to see the ceiling soon.
Yeah, that was with Molina as well. Molina is still young. Don't forget, Molina is still young.
Stop, stop, stop. We've seen Molina's ceiling, and it's very good. The problem is we haven't seen Molina's ceiling frequent enough to realistically justify him being on the pitch as often as he is.
Okay. I hope I see Rogeri's ceiling and I hope he maintains it because,
I agree.
again, let's see. But like I said, I'm calling it 6, 7 right now
All
because
right,
I haven't
stop,
seen the best of Rogeri.
stop. For the midfield, I think Nico had a really good game until he was subbed off. So I'll give him a 7.5. Just generally, just defensively, offensively, great game. Good stuff.
I
I
agree.
think arguably man of the match for Atleti outside of Raspadori's substitution. I think
True. True.
Barrios, really good game. Not much to complain about. Just a 7. It's great stuff.
A
Okay,
few a few misplaced passes. Yeah.
a few, but I think that's because of the waterlogged pitch that they had.
Can be. Can
Koke,
be.
not a great game, but not a terrible one by any means. I think it's like a 6. He
I
could have done
agree.
better, but it's fine. And then call it Llorente. I can't really give him any rating. He played for like 10 minutes, and then he just left. He was really good until he just came off the pitch. So I'll just swap it out for Griezmann and say Griezmann. Solid game actually. Um, I'd give him a
I
7. I
think
think it's a good game.
Griezmann 7. I think 6.5. I'll give him a 6.5 because there are
Sure.
some moments where he delayed it a little bit
Mhm.
and again
I think the offsides are getting to you if you feel like he shouldn't have been
yeah,
offside.
yeah, maybe and also the fact that like he had almost like a tap in but like he was offside obviously but again you should score that one.
True. It was a great header. Um, Alvarez, not a good game actually, but good when he sometimes I should say like a 6. And Bayana was I think about not as involved in the first half, but a lot more involved in the second half, and in a very effective way. I liked him a lot in the second half. I think it would be a 7 and maybe a 7.5.
I
Um,
agree. I agree. Okay, substitutions. Raspadori.
great game, 8.
Oh wow. Okay.
Not much to say. You. There's two. He creates it. He almost scored from his first real shot because only was stopped by Soares, like world class save, and then immediately created a chance to try and win us and eventually won us the game. So just great substitution, limited minutes, good stuff. Solat, decent-ish game, whatever. I don't know. It's clear he doesn't want to be a 6. Gallagher, I can't remember too much about Gallagher to be honest with you. I think he had his moment, but
Gallagher had a pre-assist of a pre-assist, if that makes sense.
yeah, okay. um,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot to mention that Bayern was the one who put in the ball for Raspadori. A beautiful cross, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like he got it from Gallagher, so a
All
pre-assist of
right.
a pre-assist.
Uh, for that, you get a point 0.5 boost, buddy. 6.5. Good job, buddy. Who else was subbed on? I think that's it, isn't it?
There is Hansko.
Oh, Hansko, right. Was good when he came on. I think the game was more or less a bit dead, so he didn't have to do too much outside of just defending. So I do wish that he took more of the one-on-ones out wide instead of leaving it to Raspadori because Raspadori is not that good defended. But outside of the game, 6.5.
6.5 for like just like what 15 minutes.
It was good until he was like a 6. That 6.5 is a bit much, I think. Yeah, 6. It was just a good game. Nothing crazy. You didn't have much minutes. The game didn't have anything going on. You know what I mean? So
True. So yeah, I think at times it was just like like I don't know like if someone can tell me the stats like I really would like to know like how much minutes were like like minutes played in the match where it wasn't getting wasted or something. But yeah, anyway, I definitely agree with most of the ratings with you right now. And I just saw a very good notification. Elche scored on Real Madrid. That is 1-0 right now.
I'm not gonna
I
jinx it.
hope
I saw it. I didn't see
I
any.
hope I hope it stays. I hope it stays. You know, when we'll post the video, I hope it stays the same. But yeah, anyway. So I think that's it. We have to prepare for the Inter game now, and hopefully we wish the best. And we'll see you guys soon
Oh, by the way,
for
on the
the
close of Inter,
yeah.
he's beating Inter at the moment. And it's Inter
That's
home.
good. That's good. That's good. I mean, it's the same stadium. What do you mean, it's Inter home? But
It, I, I, we'll have a discussion about that another time. Yeah.
but anyway, guys, we'll see you guys soon. Until then, like and subscribe, support us, and we'll see you guys soon for the preview of the match against Inter Milan.